So within this unit and within this class, there's definitely some things I would keep the same, but some things that I would change. The first one would be the backwards design. I would definitely keep the backwards design. It was a way that I like to think about teaching anyway, is knowing what I want my students to accomplish and where I want them to go, and then be able to work backwards from there to think, how can I do that and how can I do that the most authentically. So I really enjoyed being able to see that there was a model for that, and then make it more organized and be able to really merge into that model. So that's something I'll keep exploring. Um, some things that I would change is to be able to find more um, tangible evidence on this specific lesson on the day of or the next day, proving that they had in fact learned how change affects people and how they can help merge that into our city projects. That would be something that I would change to be able to help that. So maybe a more detailed plan, maybe a more organized plan, something that I can see from group to group. But then number two, they did have real world authentic application. I mean, my students are working on city projects, so they were able to take what they learned about how people react to change and be able to incorporate a plan or an idea, reflection or conversation about how they're going to introduce that to the city on the roundabout project or putting in brand new sidewalks or our two new parks, things like that. So they've had that real world application, which is really great. But I would change maybe to see something more formal, I think. Um, so, variety of appropriate assessment formats for additional learning. Once again, I'd want to see something more set in stone for a plan, something more than just a conversation. Those conversations were really rich and really good, but we all know that those can't be guaranteed with every class or guaranteed with every project. So, being able to have a tangible um, fill in chart or a plan, something that I can really see, and for them to revisit when we go back to it, because that's what we're doing now. Is we're this project is going to keep going, so being able to reflect and be able to keep going back to that, it's going to be easier for them to go back and see, okay, what did we learn from this unit, and what did we learn way back here in February that I need to do and bring into the end of my project. So that's going to be really beneficial. So what they're doing now is we're having a city promotion night tomorrow night actually, and they are going to actually be able to um, show the city and try to demonstrate and try to effectively communicate with them about these projects, about the roundabouts, the sidewalks, the parks, and how to get them excited about the change instead of just putting up denial or all the different parts of and ways of change that we talked about in our lesson. So they're going to be able to see that. And then after that, we're going to do some deep reflection with it. Like, did your plan work? Um, did you really think about how they were going to accept these new things like a roundabout? That's a big one. We're very anti roundabout in our city. So how did their plan, for example, was to hit them with a lot of facts about how it is safer and how it is going to be better in this intersection. So, by presenting all that information, presenting those facts, did that actually accomplish what they wanted as far as um, getting them on board, or at least seeing that, getting them to see that this could be a good option, getting their feet wet a little bit, or did they still just see people completely closed off? So that's going to be our big reflection piece. It's still definitely going to be coming. And then we're going to see this out throughout the rest of this year and then into our program next year, even with the same group of kids. That's when the parks will start being built, and our improvement projects. So our sidewalks and our roundabouts will actually be putting in. So seeing how people actually take them on instead of just verbally saying that they're okay with it or they're mad about it. Do they deal with it? Do they use it correctly? All of those things. So some great things that we learned in this, but also some things I would change.